Welcome to Intrinsic Truth. This is Arthur. Today I want to focus on the word itself, Vaticanus. I do not want to talk today about the St. Peter's Basilica, the obelisk, the circle, and its meaning combined together with the secret societies. I simply want to focus on the very word itself. You see, in that word there appears to be a mystery. It is a word that is never translated to any other language for its meaning. It is only transliterated to other languages. So for instance, in English it sounds Vatican. In Polish it may sound Vatican. However, we actually do not know the meaning of the actual Latin word. Well, Vaticanus is actually a mountain. And here is the word Vatican that I want to talk about, Vaticanus. It was St. Peter's Basilica as well as Vatican City, known as the home of the Pope or the Holy See, has been built on Mount Vatican or Mons Vaticanus. Mons simply is a Latin word for mountain or a hill. However, the word Vaticanus received its name because of its association with the activity on that mountain. So I want to expose what was on that mountain before Vatican placed its home there and Holy See began to rule the world from that little place. Well, before Vatican was there, before Vatican City, that is, before the Holy See, before the Pope was there, something else was underneath it. Well, in fact, the entire Vatican City is built on necropolis. Necropolis in Greek simply means the city of the dead, which is just a huge cemetery. However, not only necropolis was present on that mountain. Goddess Cybele found her home there as well. In fact, a temple to Cybele was built right next to the cemetery. You see, in 218 to 201 BC, there were Punic wars that the Romans were leading. In 205 BC, it began to rain stones in Rome. You wonder, how did this happen? Well, we had volcanic eruptions and stones were falling. Well, these stones and the falling of those stones created a mass religious hysteria in Rome. The elite society of Rome, the monks, the learned spiritual leaders began to read in chronicles and realized that they were neglectful of the worship of Magna Mater. They needed to find her, so they sent an ambassador to Pergamum. The official of Pergamum told the Roman ambassador that her stone is actually in Pergamum. They both went there, they saw the stone, they brought the stone back. Sometime around 190 BC, they built a temple and, of course, placed it right on Mount Vatican. You see, Mount Vatican already, or Mons Vaticanus, was associated with the worship of the dead. The Magna Mater, who was a prophetess as well, began to reign and rule from that mountain. From that time on, the Romans believed that the volcanic eruptions would stop, as well as the enemies attacking Rome would cease. And so the mountain get its very interesting meaning from that mother, from Magna Mater. Now here is what the actual word means. It is a construct word made of two Latin words. Vates means seer or prophet, or one who gives oracles. The word vatic is simply a prophetic, that's the adjective. And of course, the word anus means old or old woman or old wife. Notice it is a feminine form, not the actual word, but it refers to a female who is old. Of course, the word anus has other meanings in Latin, like it can mean an opening or it can mean a ring. We are after its specific meaning associated with Vaticanus. So what we have is a prophetic old woman. Well, who's this prophetic old woman? You see, when we combine Vatic plus Anus, we obviously get a prophetic woman who is no one else but Cybele, the Magna Mater. You see, in Vatican, not much really has changed. It has always been associated with the worship of the dead and giving out of prophecies. Vatican, therefore, can be stated that it is a center of divination. It has been used for that purpose in history, and it is used for that purpose today. Those of you who have seen my discourse on Daniel chapter 8 and Daniel chapter 7 especially, as well as Daniel 11, would know that the little horn provides his own prophecies. He asa, if you remember the Hebrew word, his own prophecies. He teaches his own ideas. That's the word sakal as well that we have talked about. When he prophesies, he changes the world. This mother, Magna Mater, Great Mother, has always been in prophecies and has always been associated with the worship of the dead. This is why Vatican has been built on that mountain. Its association with the worship of the dead as well as giving out of prophecies. Brothers and sisters, the word Vaticanus means an old woman prophesying. And her prophecies are still valid today for the world. They are contrast to the prophecies of God, yet the world will wonder after Magna Mater. This is Arthur for Intrinsic Truth. God bless, and let the truth stand where it stands.